in a world where you could be anything. Literally, there is no better time to be alive than currently. I mean, depending on the way you look at it with the Rona and all that. But to be honest, right, this Rona has changed my life. This quarantine thing has changed my life, yo. Like I have made leaps and bounds in my life, yo. Like progress on so many different fronts. It's crazy, crazy. But yeah, if you could, in a world where you could be anything, man, just be your damn self, yo. But I guess that's a bit hard to do if you don't know yourself. I guess you cannot transcend something that you do not know, and I guess majority of people don't really know themselves, yo. But me, I guess this is my channel for a reason, right? So yeah, I mean, I went through a dark time, right? Back in 2016. I was just aimlessly going about life, just having fun, looking for that next pew pew dopamine hit, and I hit a wall at some point. Maybe this was my sophomore year, second semester of my sophomore year, so maybe like April, May time. I hit a wall, bro. I just fell into a dark place. I was just like, what am I doing with my life? You know, who am I? Like, what? There's nothing that's taking me out of bed or dragging me out of bed, bro. Like, I get up aimlessly. You know, I don't. I had no aim. So that summer is just a time of thinking, man, and had a lot of fucking depression. I fell into a depressive state, man. Life was just black and white for a while. And I mean, with depression, right? Depression, it's not extreme sadness, man. There are a few ways to look at depression, right? One way I like the way Jim Carrey talks about depression, right? He says, when your avatar is tired of pretending or not being who you truly are, that's when you fall into a depressive state. So in that sense, you know, I guess I wasn't me. I was just I was like an NPC, to be fair. I was aimlessly going around life, zombie autopilot mode. So there's that, and then there's also the definition in like a spiritual sense, which is the dark night of the soul, right? And dark night of the soul can be misinterpreted as depression, but this one is kind of like an ego death. It kind of your ego dies, and it's your soul or self is somewhat thrust to the forefront, as opposed to your ego dictating your life, right? So yeah, that's summer I came out, and no, well, I came out of the depression, yo. I came out of the depression. Let me not get my words twisted. I came out of the depression, and I was like, okay, well, it's because they say if you're good at something, you'll tell other people. But if you're great at something, other people will tell you. So I kind of just thought back to my life, and people, you know, always complimented me on, you know, my outfits, my swag. So I was like, bro, why don't I start a clothing line, bro? A clothing line. But you know, if I hadn't had spent that time in that depressive state and seriously think about and contemplating my life, where I was, where I had been, and where I was going, I would have never came to that realization. Like, okay, I want to start a clothing line, right? And it wasn't just a clothing line, right? Because I think maybe I talked about this in a previous video, but you know, I came across the Bruce Lee family podcast, right? A podcast in which his daughter and a business partner, you know, just go through his writings, talk about his philosophy, and you know, just kind of dissect it. And I came across in that depressive state I was in summer 2016. They said Bruce Lee was he was an advocate of simplicity, because he believed that simplicity was the key to brilliance, right? So as a result of that, he said that you should simplify your life down to the point where if someone asks you what you're about, what your life is about, you can tell them in one sentence. So it took me a while to think about that. So I came up with my own chief objective aim, which was to connect people of different cultures and backgrounds together through my clothing line. But as you know, it has evolved into the anime, manga, and some other projects. But yeah, I guess what I'm looking to say is you gotta know yourself first. A lot of people go out in this world and look to become something, be someone, do whatever that it is, accomplish whatever that it is, but without knowing who they are at the core level. It's like building a house on a weak foundation. It's like an earthquake can come along. Maybe it won't wreck the house the first time or the second time, but there's a greater likelihood of the house falling after the second earthquake. So I guess just tap in here, because it's worked for me. But yeah, look inside. Once you look inside, then you'll be able to make sense of all the disturbance and the noise that's going on around. So yeah, yo, that's my little video for the week, yo. Take care of yourself, yo. Take care of yourself.